I thought it would be cute to record a little video out here on my outdoor bench, which has to be covered by a blanket because it's super torn up and smells like a mixture of cat poop and mold and rotten oranges. And it's super nice out, you know, it's already 80 degrees in Southern California, which is nice for now, but really doesn't bode well for the summer and for people like me who don't like the summer. So we're not going to think about that right now. But my neighbors are like rebuilding their house, which has been really cool to observe, but it is very noisy. So maybe recording out here was not the best idea. But just checking in real quickly to say that this week sucked. I really did want to do like a video a week just to give me something to do because I've been really feeling lately like if I don't make something, I'm gonna just crawl out of my skin. But it is hard to be making things when there is this level of chaos and horribleness going on. I'm sorry, that was really inarticulate. But if you live in the United States, and even if you don't live in the United States, you know that shit's been bad. And it seems to be getting worse, but my only hope is that it is getting worse before it gets better, you know? So I'm not super hopeful that things will turn around soon, but I do believe they will turn around eventually, and I just hope that happens before I collapse in on myself like a dying star, and before any other people get hurt. Well, it's too late for that, but before too many other people get hurt. And of course, I just watched that video back, which I should never do. And I'm like, oh my god, I look like ass. I'm like, what is my hair doing? Like, everything I hate. I hate everything. But we're doing this anyway. We are doing this anyway, and I keep looking over here because this is where the screen is instead of here, which is where the camera is. We're learning. We're gonna get through this together. Why am I like this? Look who showed up. Hi. I've named them all, even though they're not my cats. They all have names, according to me, and I think this is Sage. I've never really had the greatest mental health, and I have learned through my lowest moments that the best way to take care of myself is to focus on myself, and I know that's really a privileged position to be in, where I can focus on myself in this way, where I can just go for a walk in a local park and not be accosted and not be worried that my home may not be there when I get back. So I hope that I'm not coming off as insensitive in my attempts to romanticize my efforts at trying to get work done, to try to, you know, retain some sense of whimsy and creativity and just content creation as a form of expression. And this is where I realized that I needed to hotspot my tablet before setting up the camera. If anyone is still watching, thank you. How about some actual writing content, right? That was the intent of what this whole thing was supposed to frickin' be. So the whole purpose of why I went to the park, just to sort of get into a different headspace and to get some work done, I have been watching through the How to Plot Your Novel playlist from Sarah Cannon. She's sort of an icon in the like AuthorTube space and independent publishing space. So you've seen this notebook. This is my journal. This is not what I was working in the other day. This is a Life Clyde, I don't even know how you pronounce it, 2mm grid. And every time I think about it, Job from Job's Journal in one of his videos said, if you use 2mm grid, who hurt you? I just have tiny handwriting, and it makes me happy, and it is so satisfying. And I've been using for this year, where's a good page to show an example? This is from when I went to Paper Plant, and they had a little journaling session. But these I also got a paper plant, and they're from this, which is a teeny tiny little calendar block, and every day has a little teeny tiny calendar page.
Where's the camera? Focus on this, not my face. How do the beauty tubers do it? How do you do the thing? How do you do this? I don't fucking know. How do you do the thing? You cover your face and then do the...
I don't know. You get the idea. It's a teeny tiny calendar, and I've been using it to notate the date in my journal. I was not writing in my journal. However, I was writing in this. This is a Leuchtturm. Yes. And I grabbed this one. I am definitely a notebook hoarder, but I grabbed this one because it has an index in it. So I can keep track of, like, on this page, I'm taking notes while I'm watching her videos. And then on such and such page, I have what the workbook looks like. Where's the camera? What the workbook looks like for the character breakdown. And then on the next page is my actual character breakdown. And then I have it just in the broad sense. And then I started on the one with her interactions with the newcomer at school, who may or may not be a antagonist or may not be a love interest. Did I even say what I'm working on? I didn't even say what I'm working on. I'm so bad at this, you guys. So back in 2021, I want to say, I did NaNoWriMo. I didn't hit the 50,000. I think I got like 46,000 or something ridiculously close. I was so friggin' close, and I was so sad that I didn't get it. But, no, it was 2020 because it was an election year. I know that it was during the pandemic, but it was far enough into the pandemic that my family had all been vaccinated, so I was able to see my parents. It was 2020 because it was the election year, and I was so stressed about the election that I wasn't able to focus on writing, and that is why I didn't hit the 50,000. It was 2020. But that was before I had really, like, invested the time in studying story structure, plot structure, and anything other than just like, this is what happens, yay! So I am really, in addition to working on sample scripts, which, hi, I'm Jessie. I worked in animation for 15 years, and I would very much like to get back into animation as a writer. In addition to working on sample scripts, I'm also reworking this NaNoWriMo project, which is a young adult paranormal mystery, a little eensy bit of romance, but very, very YA. Yeah, so we're going through the videos, we're taking notes on the videos, and then we are doing the exercises that would have been in the workbook. I didn't feel like printing the workbook. I don't own a printer, and I don't feel like going to the library. So I'm just putting it all in one place. I only got through the third video, which is Act 1. And it made me realize that as strong as I believe my story to be, there is a lot that I don't know. So it's good to sort of do these exercises before I just launch in and try to start rewriting the thing. Because there is a lot, and I did start rereading it, there is a lot that I want to keep, and I'm actually really proud of myself with how much I want to keep, but there's a lot that's going to need to be, like, moved around and adjusted, we'll put it that way. And there's also a lot that needs to be trimmed out, because, let's be real, I was doing a challenge, I was padding that word count as much as I could, so there's a lot that does not need to be in there that I can just rip right out. Yeah, so I was working on, let's call it, we'll call it Project Lilith. And if you have followed me on social media, you know exactly what that is. So Project Lilith is the YA paranormal mystery, coming of age, romance-ish. I need to get better at pitching. I need to get better at summarizing what genre this thing is. And then the script that I'm working on, I'm calling Summer Invasion, and that is something that I've talked about extensively on various parts of the internet, and I've sent that off to people. So I'm also going to be working on that at the same time that I'm working on Lilith. Yeah, so hooray! Writing content on what I had intended this whole time to be a writing channel. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there eventually. I swear to God.